Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys. Happy Halloween Friday.
Oh, it's a great morning because my Dallas Cowboys are looking better and better in the NFC because now everybody has one loss, and here we go.
But ain't nobody hotter than that old golf in Green Bay.
Really?
I didn't know it would get that hot this time of year.
I must have seen a different game than you saw last night.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Now, we'll get to Dak and the Cowboys in just a moment, but let's start with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers because they made a statement last night by taking down Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Kyler still had a shot to win the game with 15 seconds left with the ball at the Packers' 5-yard line, but a miscommunication with A.J. Green led to a game-sealing interception for Green Bay. Shannon, what happened on that play?
It's something about that stadium. Super Bowl 49, last night, Skip. It's something about that stadium. Maybe even that corner of the end zone.
The Malcolm Butler play.
Something bad.
I think it was the other end zone. I believe it was.
But it was the end zone.
Same place.
Yeah. They ended it.
Yep.
Skip, it was a miscommunication. Now, I don't know. Let me surmise what I think happened. I don't think that they left the huddle with that play call for A.J. Green. But the Green Bay Packers brought what we call zero blitz. Nobody in the middle of the field. And so even if that route's not called, Kyler Murray's thinking like, I got A.J. Green one-on-one. Let me go to the back shoulder fade. I don't know what A.J. Green, because he should have looked, even they don't have that play called, he sees zero blitz. We're throwing this ball. Guess who they going to throw it to? Me, because I'm going to be the first one to get open. That's what his thought process should have been. But looking at his like he's watching the Jumbotron, Skip. It's like he's looking like he has no idea that Kyler Murray's going to throw him the football. And I was shocked by this because look at this. Everybody else sees like it's zero. Let's run to try to get the ball. And A.J. Green is not running thinking that he's going to get the ball. And it's bad because it's the final play of the game. Maybe they had a run play call, but, you know, we get stopped in bounds, Skip. It's only 13 seconds. Game's going to end. So I'm thinking if I leave the huddle, I'm thinking pass. Skip, we used to have those plays on, and John would always say, T, if you get one-on-one, I'm putting this ball up.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if not the play that's called.
Who's T?
That's what he used to call me.
Why?
It's a long story, Skip.
Must be because it has nothing to do with SS.
It has nothing to do with it. That's what he called me. He said, I'm going to put this ball up. You get one-on-one. I don't care who's over there. Dale Carter, James Hastings, it doesn't matter the corner. I don't care. You get one-on-one, I'm going to put this ball up. And A.J. Green should have known, Skip. And I think Cliff Kingsbury said it was, we want that. One-on-one. Now, you know if number 10 was in the game, you know where that ball's going. It's going to DeAndre Hopkins. But unfortunately, his hamstring was nagging. He tried to go. He couldn't go.
He kept coming in.
He kept trying to come in, but it wasn't.
In fact, I'm not sure he wasn't in the game on that play because Kingsbury was not happy that he kept inserting himself into the game. And Cliff said that will not happen again because we had shut him down.
You don't want to exacerbate a situation. So I just think, Skip, they got one-on-one, zero blitz. I like A.J. Green in that situation. And it seems A.J. was not on the same page as Kyler Murray. Kyler threw it thinking he's going to get back shoulder. A.J. never looks around, and the guy makes a great play, Skip. You still got to give the guy a great play because he could have easily bobbled that ball, and they got another chance at it. He made him.
He did.
He made him pay for the mistake.
Yep.
And Green Bay won the ball game. But it was just miscommunication on A.J. Green's part. It wasn't miscommunication on Kyler's part. It was miscommunication on A.J. Green. And I just hope he doesn't have social media or he turned his comment section off.
So, in the end, I believe that A.J. Green actually took your man Aaron Rodgers off the hook because the go to the game was going to either be Aaron or his coach Matt LaFleur because somehow, some way, they had it on the inch line. And they wind up taking a delay of game.
They got no timeout, Skip.
Delay of game? What are you doing? It's preposterous. It's inconceivable that in that moment with the game in the palm of your hand, you would take a delay and have to march it back 5 yards.
Well, they had no choice, Skip, because it seemed like the receiver got mixed up what side he was supposed to be on. So he's burning through his timeouts like he got an unlimited supply. Like he got like 20 timeouts. Oh, they timeout. I was like, bruh, you burning through these things. You know you don't get these back, right?
Yeah, they didn't get them back. And they couldn't get that play back. So let me go first before we get to A.J. Green, too. Once Kyler gets the ball, remember, it's on like the 6-inch line.
Yes.
I mean, he is backed up where you are stuck.
Right.
And they almost had a safety on the first play.
Yeah. If the D-tackle doesn't slip down, Skip, he get him stuck.
I think he's got it.
He got him stuffed.
And it boils down to 3rd and 10 from the 6-inch line.
Right.
And who does he hit in the middle of the field? A.J. Green.
Right.
Could we see that play? Because what stuck in my mind about this play was love the patience, love the throw, love the guts. He is wide open in the middle of the field. And look what happens to the aging veteran receiver. As soon as he catches it, he thinks he's going to get crushed.
Yeah.
He's folding up, man. Yeah. He's going fetal position because he thinks he's going to get crushed in an area he does not want to enter at this stage or age of his career. Am I right?
Right.
And it got me because it showed me, I'm not saying he's semi-retired because I thought he was going to have more impact. When they signed him, you said, oh, he'll have little to no impact because he's just about done, right?
Right.
Well, he has had some impact for them because he's going to get a bunch of single coverage.
Right.
And last week he got single coverage and Kyler hit him for a touchdown.
Right.
Okay, so that concerned me, like, is the moment a little big for him right now? Because he's just folding up, waiting to get hit, but at least he caught it, held on to it, and that was the play of the game. That saved them.
Remember I told you, as we start to age, those licks hurt.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I thought of you. You were the first guy.
Yeah,
and A.J. has been one of the great receivers in the history of this game, but he's on the downside, and he's taken a lot of hits, and he's had a lot of injuries, and he doesn't want to do that anymore.
Right.
So here comes Kyler, and if we could then see what happens the next phase of this drive, because Kyler just goes crazy.
Yeah.
He goes crazy. He goes to Christian Kirk. If we can see these plays for 29. Here's to Christian Kirk with the nice little maneuver in the pocket, and then he goes to Rondale Moore for
a little screen flare.
Yeah, for 9, and then he goes to Chase Edmonds, which was more run than catch. This was a heck of a play by Chase Edmonds. He is electric, man.
Yeah.
He can get free and loose. That went for 26. And then Kyler himself says, well, I'll take this. If you'll give me that, I'll just electric boogaloo to the sideline for 9 more. And now we're down to the play. And it gets to be 2nd and goal from the 5. But remember, it's only 2nd and goal. So this isn't do or die.
Right.
And in your back pocket, you have a chip shot field goal to force overtime at home.
Yes.
And that's always a pretty good situation where you got a slight edge because you're at home. Although I will make the point, this was yet another, it's like the Lakers at San Antonio. This was a home away from home game for the Green Bay Packers because traveling Packer Nation took the stadium over. And according to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Fox last night, it sounded about 50-50.
Yes.
Okay, so it's sort of a neutral site game, if you will. But it's only 2nd and goal at the 5. And from what I understand about what happened, Kyler audibled at the line of scrimmage because he sees 0 blitz coming. They're bringing the house.
Yes.
And he only has 1 receiver split solo.
Right.
Because the other one are trips left.
Yes.
Okay, so he's got trips left and he's got 1 receiver right. And according to him and Kingsbury, he called the audible, and it would be for like what I call a fade stop.
Yeah,
back shoulder fade. Is that what you call it?
Back shoulder fade. Yeah.
Yeah, it's now it's become back shoulder fade. Yeah. In my early days in the business, it's fade stop, where you just stop and you just look for the ball because it's going to be on your back shoulder immediately because it's 0 blitz. It means there are no safeties. Nobody's back in the back of the end zone. Everybody is coming after Kyler, and he's going to have 1001, 1002, and you better the ball better be gone. And he threw it exactly where he should have thrown it, at the velocity he should have thrown it. It couldn't have been a better throw.
No.
It had touchdown written all over it, except A.J. clearly to me did not hear the audible or digest or compute the audible.
But Skip, even if it's not Skip, you see 0. Whatever they got called, you know he's going to have to put the ball up because, Skip, that's the first thing they tell you. Look, check the triangle. Corner, safety. Okay. Oh, there is no safety. They locked up across the board on the other side. Ooh, Skip, you know what this means? Money. That's what. If I'm A.J. Green, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. Every other wide receiver in that situation is thinking he's about to get the ball.
Okay. And who is Rasul Douglas? Well, he's only there because they're down 2 cornerbacks. Obviously,
You know, they signed him off the Cardinals practice squad.
That's what I mean. He was on the practice squad of the Cardinals. Okay?
Yes.
So they snatch him off the Cardinals where he was for the first, 4 weeks of the season.
Yes.
And he shows up in Green Bay, and all of a sudden he's playing against the undefeated Cardinals in their stadium, and it comes down to him.
Yes.
Now, I didn't hear his play when Kyler was just motoring up the field. Like I didn't hear his name called at all because I think he was probably getting as beaten as everybody else was. But he happened to find himself in the perfect place at the perfect time, and I'm not sure how you couldn't cover the route because the route was just run right in his face, then he just stopped.
Yes, Skip, he's not running a route to get open. It's like they called a play that's not for me, so I'm the lack of a better word, Skip, I'm loafing. Okay. Because if you look at his head, it's almost like he's looking at the big board. He's looking at the Jumbotron.
Oh, God.
Skip, there's no other way around it. I mean, he's running a route like he's not. Skip, that's the goal line. What yard line were they on? Like the 10, you said?
It was second goal, the 5.
Okay, the 5-yard line. Yep. Look how he's running the route. Skip, he's just walking into it. He doesn't swim. He doesn't try to give a release. He just runs and velcros to the guy.
Yep.
So I don't really know what else to say. I mean, everybody's at home is watching like, AJ, what are you doing?
Well, he just quit running the route.
Yes.
He just stopped cold and didn't even turn to look for the football, except Raul had no choice because he's just watching Kyler, and all of a sudden, there's a football, and I can snatch it, and he did. And I agree with you. It was not the easiest catch, and he made the catch.
Because Skip, you got to realize now, he shielded because the wide receiver's here, he's here. So all of a sudden, the ball, and he's just like, I don't know, you just got to catch it blind. Because look where he is compared to, look where he is. Now look at this, Skip. He's like, he's on one side and has to go to the other side to catch the football. That ball could have easily went out of bounds. That ball could have easily hit the ground.
And if it does, we're all good.
Now we're third at the 5-yard line.
And if that doesn't work, you just kick the field goal.
Same thing. Well, now I'm going to kick the field. They're probably going to kick the field goal. If you don't get it on third down, you're probably going to kick the field goal, take your chances in overtime. I don't think they're going to go for it on fourth down.
So after you've driven 95.5 yards to get to that moment, it's going to rip your guts out, which it did to Kyler, that all of a sudden the game ends on a play that is aborted by the new old wide receiver, right?
And it's like, Skip, to make matters worse, it seemed like he got nicked on that play, so he's walking up the field.
I don't know what that was. He said he was okay. I don't even know what it was.
I don't know if they hit him because they brought the blitz out.
They did.
Because it seemed like he kind of backpedaled a little bit to make sure he got the ball off. I mean, Skip, it was communication is everything. It's the only thing that matters is that he and D-Hop, I believe if that's D-Hop, there's no question in my mind that game's over because D-Hop's going to make that play.
That's like candy from a baby, right?
I just do. I just think he's going to make the play.
Well, I think just about anybody else on that team would have in that moment, and yet A.J. Green, who's been in 1,000 moments just like that. I mean, he knows what's up.
If I'm not mistaken, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, to your point, you don't even really need an audible. You just take one look at it, and maybe you glance at your quarterback, and you just know, I'm as hot as I can be. I'm a hot seat right now because it's coming to me.
I'm A.J. Green. Yep. I got one-on-one. And they just signed off my practice squad.
And it's blatantly clear you're one-on-one because the safeties are coming. You know, they're
been in a lot of scrimmage. Yeah, we're zero.
Okay.
We call it bomb blitz. We ran it against Green Bay the last play of the game in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You see somebody doing this on the side, that's the bomb. We finna blow it up. They blowing it up.
Okay. And he couldn't see that? He couldn't digest, he couldn't compute that on the fly after all the games and the big moments he's been in?
Skip, I don't know what he thought. He just drew a blank. He just drew a blank. Skip, I guarantee you they've gone over that. Skip, it's an automatic check. It's man. You got Rasul Douglas on you. He was just on your practice squad. They signed him 22 days ago. It's zero coverage. Whatever they got called, the audible is always going to, Skip, it's a fade. Yeah. A zero coverage, Skip, I'm running fade. Everybody, some people go, well, we could run a slant. No. I've never heard someone running a slant into zero coverage. It's always been the fade or the go route.
Absolutely. So I hated it for Kyler. As you know, I'm a big fan. Yeah. You have become a fairly big fan. And I thought he was at least making an MVP case.
Yes, he was.
And He did not play great last night because his QBR was only 49, scale of 0 to 100, so it was slightly below average. But the problem was they just didn't have the football because Green Bay nickeled and dimed all night long.
But Green Bay ran the ball better than I thought.
And they ran the ball better than I thought they could with Dillon, and especially the other Aaron, who you can make a case is often the MVP of that team, Aaron Jones. But they held the ball for 38 minutes to only 22 minutes for Kyler and the home team. Only 22 minutes, and yet in average yards per play, every time Kyler ran a play, they averaged 6.1 yards per play. Every time Aaron ran a play, it was only 4.7 yards. But they kept converting just enough third downs. They were 6 of 14. They were 2 of 4 on fourth down. They had one huge fourth down conversion that led to the 17-7 touchdown. And the point was, Kyler played pretty well when he had the ball. He did miss Christian Kirk on a where you could have thrown him more open. Just let him to the left a little bit.
That's the Cowboys play. That's the same play. He scored 80 yards on your Cowboys.
Yeah, that is true. No, that's true. That's a good point. But the point for me was that Kyler still had it cooking down the end, and he could have just righted the wrong, and they were heading toward, what would that make him? 8-0. The 8-0 is sitting on a silver platter for them.
Yes, Skip, and the thing is, he got, because they come out of the half, they get the ball out of the half, because they deferred the first half. He throws the screen, and the ball gets tipped, and it gets intercepted.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a wild throw.
And then the Green Bay goes in and scores, and you might possibly going down to tie the game, maybe even take the lead, and now you find yourself down 2 scores. And then on the last play of the game, he's like, oh, we got this one-on-one. I got A.J. Green against a guy that was on our practice squad. Oh, this is money. I'm about to throw a walk-off.
Yeah, I agree. But if you turn over 3 times and the visitor turn over none, you're going to have a hard time winning. But he was in position to pull all that off and clean the slate of the night, right?
And the other guy, he didn't run this game running away. But it was because of the greatness of the GOAT.
Really?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he's now the GOAT?
Yeah, old GOAT.
He became the GOAT again? I think you'd given it up on Tom Brady's the GOAT.
No. But here's the thing, though, Skip. You still have to understand what he was able to do in that moment without 3 top guys, 2 top offensive linemen, DBs down galore. And he still found a way to go on the road on a short week and beat the only undefeated team in football. I think he needs kudos for that now.
With a grand total of 184 yards passing, he couldn't even go over 2 bills.
No, but see, that's the thing. See, Skip, sometimes people get so caught up in stats. Why would I need to throw it when Dillon's running the football? Now, I don't want to know why Dillon wasn't in the game on that third down they gave to Aaron Jones. Put Dillon. He's your big power back. Skip, remember they had him stopped in the backfield on 4th down one time, and he bulldozed his way ahead.
Because Aaron Jones bulldozed one in early in the game.
Yeah, against Simmons. But, for me, though, Skip, look, it's a bad way to win the game, man. But I've been there, AJ. I dropped a touchdown in 91 that would have gave us home field advantage throughout the playoffs, Skip. It's hard.
Okay, so to sum this up, A.J. took Aaron and the offense off the hook because let's quickly look at what happened this series before, because this was the pivotal one where off a pass interference they had it 1st and goal at the 1. And little Aaron Jones bangs away, and I thought he scored on this play. It was close.
No, he was sitting down, Skip, and then he fell, back in the end zone. You see, he's sitting down.
I think he got the ball across. I just think he got it across, but I was shocked they overturned it and they didn't get it. So then here we go. After this, we got this is a delay of game.
What are we doing?
Delay of game, and then here we go.
Oh, Aaron can run.
And he says, I got this.
Aaron can run. Hold on.
And I'm going to give you kudos because he showed me at age 37 some guts there because he was going to take some punishment. And he said, okay, we got a delay of game. I'm going to undelay this game right here. And he got it down to about the 6-inch line.
It's funny. I remember I played very similar to that last year around in January sometimes.
Yeah, and that's probably the same thing that would have happened. He would have gotten stopped at the 1 or 2.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
But at least you would have had a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the delay of game, and then obviously the 4th down, the pass just gets batted down. That's your guy. That's the GOAT. He gets his pass batted.
Man, got the pass got batted.
Well, you got to step sideways. Brady's got the sweet feet where he just would have avoided the bat down.
First of all, Brady wouldn't even got close to the 1-inch line. You know that, and I know that.
I don't know. The new Brady, now that he got his MCL repaired, he's been moving and grooving, man.
You know what?
Yeah.
And Cliff, you can see the frustration on his face because he knows that's one that we should have had. Well, we didn't play our best football skill. We turned the ball over, but we still had a chance to win the game with 10 seconds on the clock, and miscommunication, and you lose a ball game. That's tough because that's a vet skill. That's not a rookie now. A.J. Green is not a rookie. That's a veteran ball player, and he should know better. He's human. He made a mistake, but he should know better in that spot with zero coverage that the fade stop is coming. I'm sure they worked on this. I'm sure they practiced this, but he just missed it, Skip. He missed it.
And all the contenders are now one-loss contenders, right? And that means my Dallas Cowboys are riding higher and higher.
Y'all about to catch the L on Sunday?
Yeah, oh, really? Is that your prediction?
That's my prediction.
Oh, good.
What part
Let's
about that
talk about it.
That's my prediction.
Let's do it.
I want
as
some
in D-E-W it.
I want some do.
Good. I love
D-E-W, it is going to be D-U-E
I want some
on
more
Monday.
do.
All right, guys, we'll get back to this Green Bay game in just a moment, but we still need to dive into if Dak and the Cowboys will get a trick or a treat against the Vikings this Sunday. Plus, will LeBron's return scare some sense into Russell Westbrook? The Lakers will look to bounce back after blowing a 26-point lead earlier this week as they host the Cavs tonight and the Rockets on Sunday. Russell Westbrook has struggled so far as a Lakers with one of the worst plus-minuses in the league. But good news for Laker fans is LeBron is expected to return tonight. So, Shannon, how much better will Westbrook be with LeBron in the lineup?
Look, this is about LeBron because LeBron makes everyone better. This would not have happened on LeBron's watch because Russell would not have had the ball to continuously make those bad decisions that he was making. LeBron understands situations. He says, you know what? They're gaining momentum. Let's make sure we execute. Let's make sure we take the shot clock down, get the very best shot, not just go down and jack up a three because somebody from the other team made a three, not just try to go 1-on-4 because that's what we've done when we were in Washington. That's what we did a lot of times for the better part of my career once Kevin Durant left me in Oklahoma City. That's where LeBron comes in. That's where a high IQ ball player understands situation because, Kevin, remember, we talk about a lot of situation in football, situational football, understanding down and distance, understanding the momentum and what's going on throughout the course of the game. And LeBron James understands that as well as anybody because no one has been able to control tempo of a ball game like LeBron James. And so Russ would not have been in this situation. So for me, that's the thing. And plus, eventually, they're going to get Horton Tucker back. They're going to get Wayne Ellington back. They're going to get Kendrick Nunn back. Trevor Ariza's going to get healthy. So some of the guys that they were counting on is going to be able to come back and contribute. So I'm not overly concerned. And offensively, that is not their problem. They're second in the NBA in offense at 118, 119 points, 15 points a game behind the Hornets. But they give up 119. Defense is the problem for them, but defense is a problem for the Milwaukee Bucks, and no one's panicking on the Bucks. So I'm not going to panic on the Lakers. I just believe that LeBron James will understand situations better than Russ does. They get up 26 points. They're not going to just all of a sudden, he's not going to just come down and just allow people to just jack up shots. And I think Frank Vogel, at some point in time, hey, Russ, be smarter with the basketball. Be smarter with the basketball. He ain't mad about those 10 turnovers. He's mad about Baisley. Get the dunk. That's what he tried to do. He tried to, oh, man, do you see Russ playing with fight? No. Let's not lose sight. Turn it over 10 times. That happened. So for me, LeBron is going to come down. He's the medicine. He's what the doctor tells you to take and call him never because everything's going to be okay.
I agree to a point with you that LeBron almost always makes everybody around him better. I agree. He controls the pace the way nobody I've ever witnessed can control the pace. But there's one man he cannot control.
I knew the butt was coming.
It's this man. I've never seen a force of nature like Russell Westbrook. He is unto himself. He is a solo act. We've talked about how he has no conscience. He has no memory. No one's ever held him accountable. He's always gotten a triple-double pass for all the outrageously bad passes that he throws. Because everybody's in awe of averaging a triple-double for the last 5 years. And I'm in awe of it, too. We're all in awe of it. But it gets the team nowhere. He is wearing number 0 as in rings. And I fear he's going to be by far the biggest reason LeBron can't win this year's ring. And I am fascinated tonight to see what happens in usage rate as LeBron comes back. How much will he want the basketball? Because if LeBron asks for it, I think he's going to be able to get it.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
I think so. But I've told you before, my mother, my late great mother, used to call me bullheaded. And that's what I call Russell Westbrook.
I call you that too.
You do? Well, he's just bullheaded. It's bull in China shop headed.
Yes.
And he's going to break a bunch of dishes as he just crashes through the China shop to get his triple-double.
Right.
Because he is a hell-bent stat machine that is a threat to LeBron and the Lakers. I get the marquee value because they have become the greatest show in basketball. I mean, are they not must-see TV?
Yeah.
I can't wait to again, we got a big World Series game, and I'll be watching both.
Right.
But I don't even care who it is. It could be Oklahoma City again, as it's going to be next week.
Right.
It could be Houston. I don't care.
Right.
It's Cleveland tonight, and Cleveland's a little better than I thought Cleveland would be so far.
Yes.
But I'm going to be on the edge of my seat because I fear for LeBron's sake that Russ got unleashed. I fear that he got a taste of what it feels like to run the team that he grew up living and dying for with no LeBron James.
San Antonio was the worst thing that could have happened, huh?
That's what I thought.
33 and 10 and 8.
And you could make a case that Oklahoma City was also the worst-case scenario for LeBron, even though they collapsed and blew the 26-point lead. You agreed with me yesterday. Russ didn't lose any sleep over that. No. All he knows is I had 20 points, I had 14 rebounds, I had 13 assists. I actually had 10 assists at halftime, and I have no memory of 10 turnovers because I just forget those.
Right.
But just so some of our viewers don't forget those turnovers, could we just see them in order? Because this is the all-time blooper tape to me. This is the other night at Oklahoma City, his triumphant return to Oklahoma City. There's number one. That's just a bad idea. Russ, come on, think about it. Well, he's covered. You can't do that. Then Russ is completely out of control and throws it to the Thunder. And Russ goes completely out of control and throws it to the bench. And Russ is completely out of control and throws it back to half court to nobody, and the Thunder get a dunk. And Russ, whoops, no, sorry. Russ, easy Russ. But wait, who you throwing it to? Nobody. Russ, calm down, play a little bit more under control. Nope. And then this one's just complete lunacy.
I'll give him that, Skip. That was a hustle play. He tried to get it. If you want to give him a turnover, I'll give. But come on now.
This was at a crucial moment of the game. Listen, a lot of point guards in this league would get yanked from the game for that play, where the coaches just say, well, you're just having one of those nights. I'm going to sit you over here until you calm down a little bit, right?
Right.
He plays 1,000 miles an hour. He plays out of control, yet he gets the highest credit from everybody because everything in the stat sheet is hustle, hustle, hustle.
Right.
He hustles for points, for rebounds, for assists, and unfortunately, he hustles for turnovers too. So I'm fascinated to see because the other night, he had the ball in his hands 37% of the time. I know most people don't follow this usage rate stat. Trust me, that's a lot.
Yeah, of course it is.
AD was next at 31% the other night. Okay, so this guy is coming back, and his name is James?
Yeah.
As in LeBron James, the king, the guy you called the GOAT. And all of a sudden, LeBron's going to say, can I play? Well, yeah, you can play. So wonder what that usage rate will be tonight. At the end of the night, will it come down from 37% to 27%?
Well, it's going to need to, but the thing is, Skip, anytime he plays a former team, I mean, OKC with his former team, he played with the Rockets. You know when you play your former team, Skip, what you try to do? You try to show them up. You try to say, this is what y'all could have still had this.
He did.
And so he went back to OKC with that in mind. Y'all remember this?
Yeah. And unfortunately, they all sat back at the end of the night and said, yeah, we remember all that.
Right.
And we remember why Kevin left, just because of that blooper tape right there.
And the thing is, Skip, it's like a quarterback throwing for 400 yards and have 3 turnovers. And you're like, man, but the man threw for 400 yards. Yeah, but the 3 turnovers cost us the game. Okay, yeah, he had a triple-double. But did you see down the stretch? Turnover after turnover after turnover, because you're getting empty possessions. Skip, we don't even get a chance to attempt the ball at the rim. We don't even get a chance to get a foul call because he's turning it over. At least give us an opportunity to get a shot up towards the rim. Give us an opportunity to maybe they commit a foul and we go to the free throw line. We already know we only go make 50% of those. Yep. But at least we get a point out of the deal. You turn the ball over, you don't even give your team an opportunity to get a chance to score the basketball or get a foul. And normally what happens, Skip, it leads to something the other way. So now you've inhibited us from getting an opportunity to score by you've enhanced their chances of getting an opportunity to score. He just needs to have a better understanding of the situation in which he's in. Just because they got a three-pointer, that doesn't mean you... Skip, you see sometimes guys get hot and they go back and forth. And we like to see that, Skip. Steph Curry bombs a three. LeBron comes back, bombs a three. Yep. Okay, we nip and tuck. But you had a 26-point lead. You've seen it dwindle all the way down to under 5.
Yep.
And now it's not the time for you to try to go back at them. It's time to try to really run an offense, to run a set and get a quality look.
Yep.
Hey, AD, get down the block, bro. I'm coming to you. Instead of you trying to throw a lob to DJ, and DJ got 4 guys around him, and you throw it behind him, and he can't get a hand on it, he knocks it out of bounds.
I've never seen anything like it before.
That's it. That's what we're asking. A Chris Paul, a LeBron, these point guards, they understand. That's what the Stocktons and the Isaiahs and the Magics, they understood situation.
I got it. But think about what LeBron had to go through at San Antonio, at Oklahoma City. He's in civvies, he's on the bench, he's trying to help coach, but it's very up close and personal as he watches. He's not in the fray, he's just on the edge of the fray, and that's where, as you know, it sort of, you soak it in better because you can step just a little bit away from it and get the impact of what's actually happening without having to be out in the middle of it.
Man, that man drank a bottle of Imodium. His stomach was going to be a knot. He already knew what it's going to be.
Because LeBron James is the polar opposite of Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
LeBron has the highest IQ in basketball. I still believe he's the best passer and pure point guard in basketball when he chooses to be. And Russ is all of not the above.
Yes.
Russ is low IQ. He is a terrible passer of the basketball. He's tried to, again, he led the league in assists just out of volume attempts. But if you add in the turnovers, he's led the league in turnovers 4 times, been second 4 times. So there's 8 years where he's threatened to be the top turnover artist, right? And so now what's he doing already? He's leading the league by 5 in turnovers. So LeBron has to stand there and watch this happening, knowing that I got to figure out how to overcome that. And what did he take? As soon as they signed Russ, he went for whatever it was, a couple of months with Russ, trying to bond with him, trying to make him his best friend, because he wanted a connection with him so that he could help sort of big brother him a little bit, coach him a little bit, because they might have a little bit of rapport. I don't think Russ is going to listen, but I do believe LeBron's trying to have, as we speak, some conversations with Russ. Hey, maybe you should cool it with that. Maybe we should do this. You know, try to be constructive about it and try to get through to him that we don't play that way here. We got to play this way. We got to clean it up. You know, we got to be smarter with the basketball. You and I got to do some more pick and rolling here and be more careful with the basketball. So I'm assuming LeBron is having those conversations. I don't think Russell is listening. That's just me.
He gonna listen.
Yeah.
LeBron talk, people listen.
Well, I agree with you up until this time with this guy, but I think this guy listens to nobody.
Just not this person.
When has he ever listened to anybody? Any coach? Any teammate?
No, it's kind of, because Skip, he's, like you said, he's had triple-double success.
He has.
So when I've had success doing it like that, what am I doing wrong? I mean, because that's how, Skip, that's how people equate it. If I'm having success doing something one way, why would I change when I'm having success doing it?
He's an MVP.
Yes.
And he's
an all-NBA player. He's gone to, what, 10, 11 All-Star games.
And he is a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. So he's like, my credentials are equal to your credentials. That's what he thinks in his head, right? Okay, so you're trying to tell me to do what?
But
I don't need
LeBron says, my style of play will lead to championships. Your style of play will lead us to getting kicked out in the first round or being in the play-in tournament.
That is correct.
That's the difference is.
I agree.
My style versus your style.
LeBron, you're on. Good luck.
I trust him.
Yeah, as a Laker fan, I'm hopeful it's going to get better, but we're switching gears because despite practicing this week, Dak Prescott's status against the Vikings remains uncertain as Dallas heads to Minnesota for a Sunday night matchup. Now, when asked if he would be making a trip with the team, Dak told reporters, quote, I think that would spoil the fun. So, Shannon, does Dak play on Sunday, and do the Cowboys win?
Dak plays, Vikings win. Dak doesn't play, Vikings win. Okay, what part about that didn't you get?
I understood both sides of that.
Okay, good.
All right.
So that way, come Monday, not only am I going to get some DEW, I need it DUE. It needs to be due. The due needs to be due on Monday. 2 cases right now. You want it?
I might get, over the weekend, a DUI on DEW, because I might get drunk on due, because I'm going to win so much.
Because you're not going to win.
Okay.
You know what Zim does?
What, who does?
Zim, Mike Zimmer. Yeah.
Now he's Zim? He's barely clinging to his job, and he's Zim?
Yep.
I know Mike Zimmer from way, way back when he was the Cowboys DB coach. Okay. I'm going to be very specific about this. If Dak Prescott does play, and you said the other day on a scale of 1 to 10, you think it's a 10 that he does play.
10.
So Shannon Sharpe is all but guaranteeing Dak will be in the lineup on Sunday night, Halloween night at Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what Jerry told me.
Okay, Jerry told you so, and in Jerry you trust.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. When it comes to the Cowboys, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So if, in fact, that happens, I want 3 cases on my Dallas Cowboys because I got this.
You up? Did I say it too? You want an extra case?
3 cases on the Dallas Cowboys if Dak is able to play the whole game.
No, whole game. If Dak starts the game, if he starts, I ain't doing that.
You want an out?
No, ain't no out.
Well, what if he can't go? What if it pulls in the first series?
So let me ask you a question. Is that how Vegas does it? Does Vegas say, well, you know what? The spread is 3, but if this guy doesn't play, well, we know it's all the bets are off. No.
Okay. What have I told you all week? If Dak plays, they win. If Cooper Rush plays, they lose. I'm on record.
If Dak Prescott starts the game,
I need starts and finish.
No.
Well, why not?
No, come on.
This is ridiculous.
No.
Well, they're scared to death about him playing anyway. And by the way, if I had to bet on whether he plays or not, I would slightly bet not, because all the signs that all the tea leaves yesterday I was trying to read suggested he's not going to play. What did he say? It's not my call. He says they don't want it to linger. Well, they're looking at a 3.5 game lead in the NFC least, and I think Jerry is sitting back saying, you know what?
No.
We'd love to have the #1 seed, but we need Dak for the duration. So let's shut him down for 1 more game and try to get him right for the stretch run here.
Dak Prescott, you talking about tea leaves. Jerry Jones was drinking tea when he said what he said. He said it's not even a thought in his process. It's not even on his mind, his thought process. It's not even there.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that man at his word. But I'm not going to try to give you a caveat, no out, where you talk about, well, if Dak starts and finishes. No.
Well, obviously, if he pulls his calf in the first series and I got Cooper Rush for, 49/50ths of the game, then how am I going to win the game?
I've never seen Fox Bet place a bet like that. That ain't no prop bet. They don't do prop bets like that.
Okay, but he has a very iffy calf pull. Very iffy. So what if he tries and says, I don't think I can go?
Do you want the bet? Dak plays.
Somebody's shaking in somebody's boots.
I ain't shaking nowhere.
There.
No, I'm just not going to give you no out because I know that's what you want. I want you going to talk about...
Well, that would be the all-time valid, justified, authentic out is if Dak...
Do you want the 3 cases, Skip?
I do want the 3 cases.
Okay, then, there you go. We got the 3 cases.
You know what? I feel so sorry for you because I've beaten you so badly with so much due. I'm so many cases up. I've lost track. It's somewhere up in the 30s.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a break.
Okay.
I'll say if Dak starts the game, I'm going to also think that he's going to finish the game. And I got 3 cases on my Dallas Cowboys.
We got 3 cases regardless. We got 3 cases regardless.
And the reason I got 3 on Dak Prescott is because he is now 4-1 against Kirk Cousins, who I will call Kurt Cousins today because he's more Kurt than Kirk to me. You just bet 3 cases on Kurt Cousins. Good luck.
Hold on. He was supposed to have a better record than what he got, because they missed a walk-off against Arizona. You saw that. Everybody saw that. It just ran up almost 600 yards against Carolina.
They did.
Now Carolina got a good defense because you was singing their praises. You was just singing their praises when the Cowboys did what they did to Carolina and how good a defense it is. Now, when Kirk Cousins hangs almost 600 yards on them, now you talking about they're not very good, and he isn't very good. But your day was coming. Y'all, I don't know how the Cowboys always manage to coming out of a bye bye week play on a Sunday night. How is that possible? Do they call Commissioner Goodell? And Jerry's like, you know, hey, we coming out the bye. We need to be on a Sunday night.
You know what? It's the same way LeBron gets to play 12 of his first 15 games at home, and the first 2 road games are at San Antonio and at Oklahoma City. Way to go, LeBron.
Are they teams? Are they NBA teams?
Yeah. Barely.
They don't barely nothing. But, Skip, you got to realize now, you look at Thielen and you look at Justin Jefferson, who's better than you know who. You know that. I know that. Dalvin Cook can run the football.
He can.
And that defense.
It's pretty good. They lead the league, or they're tied for the lead in sacks. So Dak could be up against it, limping around on that Aaron Rodgers Memorial pulled calf.
This man ain't seen the man practice. He ain't seen nothing. He already talking about the man going to be limping. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip, trying to sell
allow me to demonstrate how close Dak Prescott came to being 5-0 against Kirk Cousins, because the only Cousins victory was at Jerry World on November 10th, a Sunday night in 2019. And you remember this?
Yeah, I wasn't due on it. Of course I did.
Dak starts out at his 6-yard line, if we could see this, and just drives them right down the field. This was vintage Dak. He goes to Randall Cobb for 20 yards. And then he goes to Amari for 10 yards. I'll take that. Way to go. And then it's Gallup for 13 yards. Dak is getting hotter and hotter. And then he goes back to Amari again for 20 more yards. This is just hot-handed Dak at his best. Then he's got Jason Witten for 8 more. And then here we go to Amari again for another sweet 8 yards, which puts them, here we go, 2nd and 2 at the 11. They're down 4 points. And guess what? Hot-handed Dak gets the play call, and it's not throwing the football anymore. It's handing it to number 21. Could we see the next?
Well, you try to burn some clock. You try to burn some clock.
Oh, let's hand it to Zeke. At this point, the highest paid running back in pro football, and he goes 0. Zeke for 0.
The man ain't have no blocking.
Okay, way to go. And then we try it again. We say, okay, that didn't work. Let's try it again. And Zeke goes -3. And I'm saying, let him throw the ball.
Okay, now we've
He's out of his mind hot right now. And so he does throw it, but guess who he throws it to? Zeke. And it's not open. And it's like, what are we doing? That's 4th down right there. And that was ball game. We had him on the run and on the ropes, throwing. And then we go 3 straight plays to Zeke. And that's when it began to become apparent to me that Zeke was no longer Zeke, that he came back from Cabo in his holdout. He got the most money of any running back in pro football, and it looked like he was running in Cabo Sand the next
that man didn't have no blocking. They was hitting the man in the backfield, Skip.
So that's the one game that Kirk Cousins survived. And would you believe that in every game they've played, in all 5 games, Dak has had a better QBR every time than Kirk Cousins? Would you believe that Dak's average QBR against Kirk Cousins is 73, while Cousins has a 57? 73 to 57.
57 ain't that bad.
I know, it's not that bad, but he's outplayed him every single time according to QBR, and you just bet 3 cases.
Sure did.
On Kirk Cousins. Congratulations.
But you and I both know Dak has always had the upper hand. He had the better team when he was in Dallas versus Cousins with the Washington football team.
Well, did he? I'm not sure about the rookie year team. I'm not sure about that. And do you remember what happened? Game number 2, we didn't even know what Dak and Zeke really were at that point. And Kirk Cousins has us on the ropes and is going in for a 10-point lead early in the 4th quarter. Do you remember this?
Oh, man, you got this.
Do you remember this? Do you remember this? He went to church. He went to Barry Church. Thank you, Kirk Cousins. That was the throw of the year. That made the Cowboys season right there. Was that interception?
They're in quarters. Well, you know good well you can't hit that on the backside.
And guess who? The rookie quarterback goes the other direction, 80 yards. And all of a sudden, my Cowboys are in business on the way to 13-3. 2 rookies leading them to 13-3. And that was the turning point.
Man, that was so long ago.
Thanks to Kirk Cousins. But thank you very much.
That's a new Cousins?
Yeah. Is it?
It's a new day? Yeah. He went to a new church. He got a new church.
New old Cousins.
That's okay. You'll find out on Sunday night.
Oh, well,
you'll find out Sunday night.
You just bet on Kirk Cousins.
I sure did.
And I
bet big.
love it.
Bet big.
My team is refreshed, coming off a bye. I got the hottest defensive player in football in Trevon Diggs. I got Micah Parsons on the rise, taking over.
I think what has happened is your team is starting to read the press clippings. Jerry's starting to feel really good. Steven is feeling real good. Everybody's patting him on the back. Troy even said this team looks different. It feels different. Everybody's patting them. And the one thing I know about Cowboy players, they love reading the press clippings. They love that. They love seeing their name in the paper.
Well, I loved it last year when Andy Dalton went up to Minnesota and actually beat Kirk Cousins. He beat him. He didn't have a better QBR. It was actually 74-75 for Kirk Cousins. But the final score was 31-28 Dallas.
Okay.
There's just something about Kirk Cousins.
You're going to find out what it is. The W.
Really?
About to be 5-2.
Really?
Yep.
I got this. My team is on a roll, and it's starting to feel like a Super Bowl roll.
You see how you get? You starting to feel good. You starting to pat yourself on the back.
I like the body language. I like the swagger. All those things that you call cowboy things don't happen to this team.
Okay.
This team just keeps on keeping on, because this team will walk on the field, especially if their fearless leader's back in the starting lineup, and he's got to be for this bet to take place. If he's back in the lineup,
no. We bet 2 cases regardless. We got 3 cases bet regardless.
Regardless of Dak even playing?
Yeah.
We do not. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, 3 cases. The
Talk about revisions. You're so desperate you're making up bets. I didn't do that.
Time out.
I didn't accept that.
No, time out.
I said if Dak plays, we got 3 cases. If he doesn't, I said if Cooper Rush plays, we're going to lose.
Hold on, Skip.
I'm on the record.
Skip, who has the best guard in football? Who has the best tackle in football? Who has the best rookie in football? Who has the best receiving combination in football? Who has the best combo running back in football? And you mean to tell me you can't beat Cousins?
With Cooper Rush, guess what he is? He's, in his career, 1 of 3 for 2 yards, and that came in 2017. He was undrafted out of Central Michigan, and you think he can beat Minnesota at Minnesota?
Why not?
I don't.
I mean, at one point...
there's no bet. No bet. If Cooper Rush is the quarterback, I'm not rushing to even watch the game, because it will get ugly.
Well, I'm glad you like body language, because you're going to love this body language when they're coming off the field like this here.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, you said it. Dak, you watching? Dak watches this show. Yeah. Thank you.
This game will come down if Dak is healthy and if he plays. It's going to be a fun one, though. But let's go back to that Thursday night game. How impressive was Aaron Rodgers last night with a limited cast? That's next. Fox Bet Super 6 wants you to stack the cash. Scan the QR code, download the app, and enter the free-to-play NFL Sunday Challenge contest. Make your picks, and then invite your friends to play as well. The more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot gets. Now, Aaron Rodgers had an uphill battle against Kyler Murray and the favored Cardinals last night. Rodgers was already without his top 2 receivers, Devontae Adams and Allen Lazard, and then in the third quarter lost his favorite tight end target, Robert Tonyan, with a knee injury. So Green Bay still managed to produce enough offense to pull off the 24-21 upset win. So, Shannon, what did last night tell you about Aaron Rodgers?
Nothing that I didn't already know. He's transcendent. He's historically great. Greatest throw of the football that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. And I don't know, I feel very comfortable in saying this, I don't believe another quarterback could have won this game without their top 3 receivers. It's not good enough to say, okay, he's a number 1. They do wide receiver 1. So I'm going to do it like they do it now. So
you do realize there's this guy named Brady?
Yeah.
He also plays quarterback?
Yeah. But
that guy also?
That guy that left New England because they didn't have enough talent and went to Tampa Bay where they were loaded with talent. Okay, thank you. Can I finish? It's my turn.
I just want to remind you that guy's still playing. He did not retire like you tried to tell him.
How about this here? I want Tom Brady to go into the game on Sunday against New Orleans without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin, and without Antonio Brown, and 3 offensive linemen, number 1, top 2 linebackers, and top 2 corners. You think he winning that game?
I don't know.
I do. You do know.
He's been winning games without all that.
When?
You just said. The last 3 games. He hadn't had Antonio Brown. He hadn't had Gronk. Hadn't had Scotty Miller.
Mike Evans has been there.
No Levante.
Chris Godwin has been there.
The secondary has been just decimated.
So Aaron Rodgers won without his top 3 wide receivers. He lost Tonyan, as AC mentioned, in the game. Cornerbacks 1, 2 down. Linebacker 1, 2 down. 3 offensive linemen down. And he went into the team that had the best record on a short week on the road and did that. Did he have a great completion percentage? No. But I thought he called an unbelievable game. I thought some of the ball placement, and I saw Troy, they re-showed it. So I'm sure Troy was gushing about the throw that he made to Tunyon, how he's backpedaling, surveying the field, and just take that with you, Tunyon.
You mean the one he got hurt on?
No, not that one. It was another one he threw, I think it was in the first half, where he's backpedaling, he's surveying the field, he's just looking, and he's like, he does that. So
with that classically bad footwork.
There you go.
He's got the worst footwork of any quarterback this side of my homeboy.
But guess what? Nobody has thrown more touchdowns with fewer interceptions. And I'm glad you brought that up. In the past 2 seasons, Aaron Rodgers with that bad footwork, 65 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Tom Brady with that impeccable footwork, 61 touchdowns, 15 picks. So you tell me. Now, as I was saying, it didn't tell me anything because I already knew Rodgers. I did not pick him to win the game because I was like, there's no way he can win this game without his top 2, and then come to find out he was going to be without his top 3. And with all the guys that were down against this team, and Arizona had been playing well, I did not anticipate them winning this game. But it didn't tell me nothing I didn't already know. Aaron Rodgers is transcendent. He's historically great. You know that. I know that. Everybody else knows that.
I don't know that.
And I'm not so sure how many other quarterbacks, minus everything that he was minus on the offensive side of the football, could have gone on the road and won a game in another team's building that's this good. The Cardinals are good. They're going to be a playoff team. He did that. He did that.
Last time I checked, Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Aaron won 1 and has only gotten to 1, and it was 10 years ago.
Ask me, what did I last night?
Okay, well, that's why he's not transcendently, historically great. He's 7-8 in playoff games since that long ago Super Bowl.
Skip, the man,
7-8.
The man has like 430 touchdowns to fewer than 100 interceptions.
That's regular season. All right, let's look at what he did have last night, shall we? There's this other Aaron on the team, and I often make the case he might be the most valuable player on the team because little Aaron Jones, who's really not that little, he was a horse last night. Look what he did. He ran for 59 yards. He caught, 7 balls for 51. He had the most targets in the game at 11. So his combined yardage was over 100, and guess what? He and A.J. Dillon, who is a load at 250 pounds, they combined to run for 151 yards. Aaron threw for 184, so he didn't throw for that many more yards than they ran for. So that's what they had to do, obviously, right? And I look at what he did have. Tunyon's his favorite target, and I know he got hurt later in the game, but he caught 3 big balls for 49 yards. And who did Aaron campaigned for in the offseason? I got to get little Randall Cobb back, and he got him back last night, and he threw him 2 touchdown passes.
That goes to show you. Yes, even with Randall Cobb.
And Joe Buck was raving on our Fox broadcast about how much Aaron Rodgers loves Equinemius St. Brown, and he caught a 4th and 3 at the 7 play. It was a huge play in the game, a 4th and 3. He caught a 5-yarder. It was a nice throw by Aaron, but Aaron loves him. Well, he was out there.
A guy that they elevated from the practice squad?
Wow, he was out there.
They elevated from the practice squad.
He's been there and done all that.
But they elevated him from the practice squad. Let's not lose sight of that.
And
but
there
carry
were
on.
2 failed attempts into the red zone, 2 bad trips into the red zone. If we could see the first one, because they got it 1st and goal at the 3, and Aaron couldn't cash this and wound up taking a Mason crossbar field goal. But here's the first throw was to Mercedes, and it was pretty good. It was a little wild high. Mercedes made a great one-handed catch, but he couldn't get his feet down. And then he tries this throw, and this is a bad idea. That almost got picked in the end zone. That was just a bad idea. And then he threw a pretty good ball to Randall Cobb, but it's a little wide left. And that's 0 for 3 right there. That started to remind me of something we're going to get to in a moment that happened in the NFC Championship game, but I won't get there quite yet because then we see what happened at the end of the game. They wind up with the delay of game. If we could just see the sequence of plays down there as they got 1st and goal at the 1 on a pass interference. 1st and goal at the 1, and the little man goes nowhere.
But that's Aaron Rodgers' fault that he got stopped. So, I'm going to blame that on Aaron. That's Aaron Rodgers' fault. He handed the ball off, and the guy got stopped. That's his fault.
They wind up getting a delay of game penalty. Well, does Aaron, should he get some blame for this?
Skip, Aaron, what about the receiver?
Aaron, the clock's winding down. Aaron.
Did you not see the receiver?
I'll just walk away. I'll go diva on you, and I won't even try to yell for the ball. I'll just say, I give up on this play, and I'll just walk away, and then he tries to scramble it. And I give you high marks for this. He just didn't quite get home. He did take some punishment there, and I will give you that. But then you wind up with the 4th down throw, and what happens on 4th down? Well, clutch guts. No, that ball is going to get batted. There's no way. You are literally enveloped by Jason Phillips, the pass rusher, right? Okay. So that didn't look great to me, right? So now let's...
So everybody scores every time they get in the red zone.
Okay, so now let's look at what has happened in games in which Aaron Rodgers has had to face Tom Brady.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened in the regular season game down in Tampa Bay...
Skip, we're talking about tonight. We're talking about last night.
No, you said that Tom Brady couldn't do this. Well, let's see what Aaron did when he did have all of his top receivers. He had everybody available. If we could see what happened early in that game... They were actually up 10-0 at this point. Oh, he threw it right to Jamel Dean for a pick 6. That's Aaron Rodgers in a huge game on the road at Tampa. Pick 6, and then he comes right back. And whoops, Mike Edwards got this one. He's gone. No, he didn't quite. He got all the way down to the 2-yard line.
What did that have to do with last night?
He almost threw back-to-back pick 6s.
But what did that have to do with
has everything. I'm putting him in perspective because he had everybody then.
Skip, no, not last night. He didn't.
And then we've got to see this very quickly. Had all the receivers, had everybody at his fingertips in the NFC Championship game. First time he ever had a home NFC Championship game. And he got it 1st and goal at the 8, and he tries. I have no idea where that was going. That's Lazard. He wasn't there last night. Then he tries again to Devontae. What was that? Airmail. And then he tries to force. You think he should have just kept running. Tries to force it across his body to a double-covered Devontae. It goes nowhere. And his coach says, I have seen enough. I'm taking the field goal.
Hold on.
31-26.
But maybe I'm
That's transcendent.
Hold on, time out.
That's the greatest throw of the football ever, says the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe.
Maybe I'm having an A.J. Green moment.
Yeah.
AC, can you read that question to me again?
Yeah.
Well, what did last night tell you about?
Last night?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about last year?
Because what was your answer? It told you what you've already known for years and years.
Yes.
He's transcendent.
He's not?
He's the greatest thrower of the football. Baloney! I say baloney to all the above. He's a choke artist. He's 1-4 in NFC Championship games, and he's, what do I always call him? He is the LeBron James of the National Football League.
That's not a bad thing.
All of a sudden, when the pressure is off, when expectations are little to none, he can often be at his best because there's no pressure.
All I said.
There was no pressure. Nobody expected him to do anything last night, and he nickel and dimed them into position to win a game that A.J. Green lost.
Okay, Skip. Hold on. Just like Seattle, he nickel and dime and Seattle lost. Okay, all I'm saying is what quarterback last night, given if Matthew Stafford is without his top 3 receivers and Higbee goes down and he was without 3 or 4 of his top DBs, can he win that game?
Thomas, Edward, Patrick Brady Jr.
Skip.
That guy, he wins that game because that's all he did at New England, especially the last year at New England. I have no idea how he got that team to the playoffs.
Skip.
You realize they were dead last in separation of wide receivers from defenders?
And he left.
Dead last.
He left.
I know, but he got them to the playoffs.
No. But you might think they're not that talented, but they were there. He didn't play without Edelman. He did not play without his top guys.
Time out. Do you remember the Super Bowl in which Tom Brady threw for a playoff record, not a Super Bowl, an all-time playoff record, 505 yards?
Yes.
There was no Edelman for that game.
Yes.
And guess what happened to Brandon Cooks, his second leading receiver during the regular season, got concussed in the first quarter, right out like the second series of the game. He's concussed.
So what about Gronk?
So you don't have your 2 favorite receivers.
So what about Gronk?
Gronk was there.
Okay, so what about, so how did Hogan do?
Well, he was there.
So he went for over 100 yarars. Okay, what about your top 2 DBs? Did you have them? What about your top 3 offensive linemen? Did you have them?
Well, Malcolm Butler got mysteriously, inexplicably benched for the whole game, and he played the most defensive snaps of anybody in the regular season.
What about your 2 top linebackers?
And you threw for 505?
And you lost.
I don't know.
You lost. Aaron Rodgers won last night. You lost. No.
He put up 33 points.
No, he
Belichick's defense gave up 41 to the backup Eagles quarterback.
You just showed me
Lord
a clip.
Mercy.
You just showed me a clip in which Aaron Rodgers lost. Okay, and he had all of those. Okay, what happened in that Super Bowl? Tom Brady lost. So why are we talking about that?
Are you blaming Tom Brady for putting up 33 and losing? How much blame did he deserve for the game? None.
Hold on.
None. It's all on Belichick.
Hold on.
The genius, the guru of defense.
When he
gave up 41 points.
This is why people have a problem. Because every time Brady wins, it's Brady. And any time he loses, it's everybody else.
What people have a problem? I don't know of anybody who has a problem.
Yes, because all he does is get all the credit and none of the blame.
Well, he deserved all the credit for throwing for 505 without Edelman and without Brandon Cooks.
Okay, so what about when they held the greatest show on turf to 17 points? What credit did he get for that? You talk about he made 5 throws, but what about the Malcolm Butler play that he made against Seattle? But all you talk about is that he was down and he made throws. What about the defensive stance that he made?
He got one big defensive play. I give you that. But in that fourth quarter against the Legion of Boom that you loved, he threw for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Without that play, do you win or lose the game?
Well, obviously, but without Brady throwing for 124 and 2 touchdowns, you don't come back from 24-14 down.
Okay, think about this. You threw for 505 and caught an L. Why? Because
of Belichick.
Thank you.
Yes.
But see, you blame Belichick for that, but you won't give him credit for the others. That's my point.
I always give him credit for the first one. For the first one. Only the first one.
Only the first one, huh?
Well, show me another one where you give Belichick any credit. Seattle, okay, some kid from West Alabama comes off the bench and makes one play to save the game.
He put him in the game. You remember Arrington? The number 1 corner was getting beat. He had enough courage to take him out and put him in. But all you talk about...
I think Matt Patricia did, but go ahead.
Oh, so now it's Matt Patricia. Again, everybody else is giving Belichick credit for the defense. But you, to undermine Coach Belichick, you talk about Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, nobody has ever gotten credit, not Romeo, not anybody else has gotten credit for the defense other than Belichick.
The biggest point here is you have given him a complete pass for allowing Nick Foles 41 points with Malcolm Butler inexplicably benched. I still haven't heard a valid explanation for that.
And you
never say a word. 41 points to the Eagles?
But you don't give him credit for holding the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, to 17 points. You don't give him credit for making a goal line stand against Seattle. All you do is that Brady. But when Brady loses, it's Belichick. So Brady is without blame for any loss that the Patriots have suffered. Is always on Belichick.
Well, obviously, I'll give him some blame for some of the losses, but in the big picture, I told you, Brady made Bill Belichick, and I think you've come around to agree with that.
But Skip, this is not about who made who. All I'm saying is that last night, Aaron Rodgers, minus all of those things, do you believe Dak, minus all those guys, all that offensive lineman, take Zach Martin. I'm going to take Zach Martin, I'm going to take Tyron Smith, and I'm going to take somebody else. You pick the lineman. And I'm going to take his 2 top corners, Trayvon Diggs and the other guy. I'm going to take them. And I'm going to take his 2 linebackers. I'm going to take them. Do you believe Dak Prescott's going on the road winning that game? Yes or no? No!
Okay. I don't know. Probably not. All I care about is you went straight to nobody else could have done it, and I said there's still that guy down in Tampa Bay.
I don't believe
he could have done that last night.
I don't believe he could have.
Oh, stop it.
So you believe
he's made miracles. The cupboard was bare in New England the last 5 years.
No, here's the...
It was.
Skip, okay. Are they to the level of the talent of the guys that Brady's playing with now or the guys that Aaron Rodgers, Devontae? No, but they were still the number 1, number 2, number 3 receivers. He was not playing. We saw what happened when he tried to play with Jacoby Myers and Jacoby Myers has turned himself into a very good receiver.
Okay, well, let's do the flip side. If you have Devontae, who is now the best receiver in football, and you have Lazard, and you have all of your, you have a deep wide receiver crew in the NFC Championship game, how can you lose to Tom Brady?
But you do realize that he's 8-0 without Devontae. He's 8-0 without Devontae Adams. So Devontae Adams made Aaron Rodgers?
I think he's really good. Do you think he's the best receiver in football? I do.
I'm not debating. But Aaron Rodgers has put a lot of guys in the Pro Bowl. A lot of receivers that's played. Jordy Nelson, our Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. There have been a lot of guys that's gone to the Pro Bowl because of him.
You had little to no respect for little Julian Edelman, and what happened? He turned him into at least a potential Hall of Fame receiver.
No, Skip. That's not what I've never said. I didn't have respect. You look at it, if they're not Devontae Adams, they're not good. That's how you judge a receiver. If he's not a number 1, if he's not Julio Jones, he's not DeAndre Hopkins. I've always said for that system, everybody couldn't play for Belichick in that system because a top receiver ain't going to be okay going 3 games with 3 targets. Julian Edelman was okay with that. Gronk was okay with that. That's what you have to understand. Everybody's not for everybody. I get that. But you try to make it seem like, well, they're not Julio. No, they're not. They're not Devontae. They're not a top-flight receiver. But for what Coach Belichick needed, they were perfect.
Okay, so here's what Aaron Rodgers could not have done. He could not have gone in the middle of a pandemic to Tampa Bay and taken over a 7-9 team that was a losing team on a franchise known as the Succaneers, who had the worst winning percentage in all of sports, historically bad winning percentage. And he changed the culture. He brought the Patriot way to Tampa Bay, and he had to instill it and install it like overnight with 0 preseason. And he pulled it off and won a Super Bowl in his first go-around. There is no way Aaron Rodgers would have lasted 15 minutes with Bruce Arians.
No.
15 minutes.
No. You have the same conversation that Tom Brady had with BA about the public criticism, and you just have a discussion. Everybody is not as rigid and unwilling to bend or be malleable like a Coach Belichick. Coach Belichick says, it's my system, it's my way, take it or leave it. After 20 years, Tom Brady says, I'm going to leave it. I'm up out of here. Other guys, Bruce, B.A. was like, you know what, okay, if you think we can do it a better way, we can get better results doing it like this. That's the thing with Coach Belichick is setting his ways. I think you agree with that. Coach Belichick is Coach Belichick. Ain't nobody trying to change him. Don't even attempt to. But most coaches are smart enough to understand it's Jims and Joes, not X's and O's. Coach Belichick still believes it's X's and O's in him. And we find out he's finding out the hard way. That is not him.
So, in the end, Aaron played pretty well last night. Just pretty well. And in the end, if A.J. Green doesn't just glitch out,
it happens.
They're going to lose.
Skip, we've seen, how many times have we seen that? Where a guy, if somebody doesn't make a mistake, they win the game. It happens. It's sports. It's football. It's unfortunate that it happened to somebody like A.J. Green, who's as accomplished as he is, and he froze. He froze. I mean, Skip, that's no other way around it. But let's not take away from Aaron Rodgers. That didn't take away from what he did.
If he can get to the playoffs and beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, even at Lambeau, I'll give it up to you.
No, you won't. Yeah. No, you won't, because you're going to say he had a chance, he should be touring, or they should be going to the Super Bowl back-to-back years. You're not going to give him credit, but I will. I'll give him credit for that, because he's very deserving in this moment.
More phony goat credit.
There you go.
All right, guys, we are moving to the NBA. Should Warrior fans be concerned about Steph Curry's late-game performance last night? We'll give you the details next. And the Warriors gave up the first game of their season in overtime to the Grizzlies last night. Despite having a game-high 36 points, Steph had 0 points in the fourth quarter and overtime, going for a combined 0 for 6. It's the third straight game the two-time MVP didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. So, Shannon, what's going on with Steph?
There's nothing wrong with Steph. I mean, we got to stop this notion that great players in today's game, if they go a quarter or they go a half or they go this, that there's something wrong with them. Because we're making it seem like their predecessors, any great player, Jordan, Magic, Bird, whomever you want to choose, never had an off fourth quarter, never had an off overtime. Steph Curry is the third leading scorer in the NBA, averaging 29 points a game. Steph Curry was a plus 15. They were minus 15 in the 12 minutes that Steph Curry sat. I thought Steve Kerr left him out too long, Skip, because when he exited in the third quarter, they had a 6-point lead. When he come back with a little over 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, they were tied up in the ball game. I just thought Steve Kerr left him out too long, and he got out of rhythm. But Steph was they were plus 12 with Steph 41 minutes. That's where they lost the game, and a lot of times that happens, Skip, when your best player goes off the court. Can you maintain the lead? Or where Golden State was really good, Skip, when they were winning championships, is that when their second unit came on the court, whatever the lead was, it was expanded. Or it was at least the same when Steph and KD or and Clay and Draymond, when they would come back, either the lead had expanded or it was at least, at bare minimum, the same. Now they find themselves in a situation if Steph, Draymond, whomever leaves the court, the starters leave, they're going to come back and it's going to be a lot different ball game than what it is. But there's nothing wrong with Steph Curry. I'll take it. If you think something wrong with it, let me have it. Let me have it with the Lakers. I'll show you what's wrong with it. I'll show you.
Well, is he the all-time greatest shooter ever?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah, but even Larry Bird missed shots. Michael Jordan missed shots. Yep, he sure did.
Would you call Steph Curry the all-time greatest clutch shooter ever?
No, I would not.
You would not?
No.
I saw a stat yesterday that said Steph could miss his next 500 regular season three-point shots and still have a better percentage in the regular season than Ray Allen.
Yes, yes.
Yet, for my money, postseason, game on the line, give me that guy who killed my Spurs with the greatest clutch shot I've ever seen in Game 6, obviously,
you
2013.
Would think, Skip, as well as he shoots the ball from distance, you would think that he would be better in the clutch situation, that he would have so many more walk-offs and game winners than what he actually has.
That has been my only issue. And I'll call it a small issue with Steph Curry, but it continues to rear its ugly head. He's just not a great clutch shooter. I'm talking about last second, game on the line. I'm going to change the night.
Right.
I'm going to wipe the slate clean with one stroke. And he had 2 chances late last night. And I started watching this game, and I could not stop.
Right.
Mostly because of Ja Morant. We're going to talk about him in a few minutes.
Yeah, we are. You're going to come around to my side, I believe.
We'll see about that. But he is making an early, very early MVP case of his own.
He's definitely making an all-star case.
Is he? Because he scared the life out of your Lakers, and it came down to that third free throw that he missed, but then he went up to Golden State, and he validated what they did.
7-7. He was 7-7 from the free throw line.
And validated that they did win the play-in game at Golden State. Last year, he did have Dylan Brooks, who's out so far.
Right.
But the point was, they did it again.
Right.
And they did it because Steph had chances late to make shots. He had 3 more chances in overtime to just change the game, wipe the slate clean, and he didn't do it.
No.
And it did not surprise me because the series that sticks in my craw, I can't get it out of my psyche, was your one big comeback, LeBron's big comeback in his second go-round in Cleveland happened in 2016 when they were down 3-1. You remember it all too well. And what happened in Game 7? Well, in the end, Kyrie happened. You can throw in LeBron had the greatest chase down block in the history of basketball. That all happened down the stretch of Game 7. But what happened to the home team? This was at Oracle. This was Steph's team at home with no KD, obviously. And what did Steph do in Game 7? He shot 6 of 19. That was 32%. He shot 4 of 14 from 3. That's 29%. And if we then go microcosm, we go down to the fourth quarter of Game 7 at home. This is his house.
Right.
These are his fans. This is his game to win or lose to me. And in the fourth quarter, Steph Curry goes 1 of 6, 1 of 5 from 3, and doesn't get to the free throw line one time. He's plus-minus of -1, had one huge turnover about the 3-minute mark. We just got careless and went behind the back and threw it into the third row. It was like a Russell Westbrook memorial. What are you thinking? I don't know what you're thinking. So, again, with the 3-1 lead in games 5, 6, and 7, 2 of them at home, Steph Curry in the fourth quarters of those games shot 6 of 20, 3 of 12 from 3, and would you believe he never got to the free throw line one time in any of those 3 fourth quarters as they lost Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7. It was just hard for me to stomach because then we came full circle back to Kawhi's Toronto, and obviously KD got hurt, and then Clay got hurt, and it was horrendous. But Steph had a chance to save the day. A couple of late shots.
And he was hot earlier because that was the game he had 47, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, but he had a shot to win it, and he missed it. So as deep as we are into his career, as great as he is, and I will give you this, he's the greatest shooter I've ever seen. But he is not a great clutch shooter. He has not proven that. Maybe he's got enough basketball left that he'll show us. Maybe he'll have more opportunities. Surely he's going to cash one at some point. But it did not surprise me last night that he went from 36 points through 3 quarters to no points.
36 through the entire game. 36.
He wound up with 36. So you go fourth quarter. Now, I'm with you. I don't know why Steve rest him. Maybe he said, I'm a little gassed. I don't know.
And maybe, Skip, it's because it's early. Yeah. And you're not trying to tax him this early in the season because, you know, he played 41 minutes and 41 minutes.
Yep.
That's a lot of minutes 5 games into the season. Because Steph normally plays around 35, 36 minutes. Occasionally, they like to play him even less than that, and then we're really good. But Steve Kerr's probably thinking, man, it's a game. You know, hey, let me get him some rest. He'll come in fresh. But I never thought he got his rhythm back. Once he rested that long, Skip, he didn't seem to have the same rhythm that he had before he left that game.
Okay, so to your dismissive point, I'll take him. Well, sure you'd take him. Who wouldn't take him? I got that. But would you take him over Ray Allen in the postseason? I would not.
But I think the thing is, Skip, is that it's different now. The shots that the three was a lot more contested than it is now. There's a lot more space. That's why it's just so hard to compare eras. Because the era that we're in now with all the space, it's kind of like football, Skip. And when we're going to look back in 20 years and we're going to look at these numbers and we're going to say, really? Because it's going to be commonplace. You're going to have 5 guys throw for 5,000 yards in a season. Somebody's going to throw for 6,000 yards here before long, Skip. It might happen this year. I say within the next 5 years, there will be somebody throw for 6,000 yards.
Well, obviously, we got an extra game.
You're right.
But even so,
And with the rules, and so we're going to have a receiver. You're going to have a bunch of receivers getting 120, 130. Michael Thomas, that we like, man, 150-something catches. Somebody's going to probably go get 160, 175, and somebody's going to have 2,000 yards receiving. And so it's going to be so hard, and that's why it's so hard to compare eras, because it was so different than when Ray first got in shooting the threes, as opposed to what it is now. Look at Buddy Hield has the most threes on 1,000 attempts, and Buddy Hield is not the shooter that Steph Curry is. But it's a totally different game shooting the three from when Steph came in to what it is now. And I don't know telling what it's going to be, Skip, another 5, 10 years from now. But I'll take Steph. Nothing wrong with Steph. I'll tell you what, y'all leave him open then and see.
Okay. Well, what sells? Touchdown passes and three-point shots. Okay?
Exactly.
Bingo.
And that's the guy you want to see him shoot him. The dunk is the dunk, Skip. But don't nothing get the crowd going like a three-pointer. Because that's what happened with 20-point leads now. Guys hit a couple of threes, and now all of a sudden it's like, damn, how did they get back in it on 4 possessions?
See Russell Westbrook.
There you go, man. I'm trying to forget that.
Like tonight, you'll be able to forget it.
Yeah, because old Gold will be back running be in that orchestra.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Russ will have his earbuds in, right?
Probably.
All right, let's head back to the NFL and a game to watch this weekend. Will Jameis Winston get revenge on Tom Brady and his former team?
He might.
That's next. Jameis Winston will get a shot at his former team, the Buccaneers, this Sunday on Fox. Tom Brady took over the Tampa starting role last season and immediately took the Bucs to a Super Bowl victory after the team moved on from Jameis. So, Shannon, will Jameis get some revenge on Brady?
No, because I don't believe Sean Payton will allow him. Sean Payton doesn't allow Jameis what Jameis is really good at, pushing the ball down the field. Jameis only has, 3 interceptions? I think he's 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
13-3, which when I stumbled upon that, I said, wait a second, that's pretty great.
He's playing pretty good. And I just think the thing is, Skip, what you need to do, because the Bucs secondary is kind of banged up. They're thin. And they weren't playing very well, Skip, when they were healthy. But you need to push the ball down the field. And if you look at Dak, you look at teams that have had success, they push the ball down the field. From what I've gathered from the times that I've watched the Saints, they do a lot of nickel and diamond. Throw the ball to Kamara out of the backfield, little short cross, a lot of screens. And so for me, I just don't know if they'll allow Jameis to do enough to really threaten the Bucs, because you're going to have to score. And I don't know if nickel and diamond trying to go 6 minute, 7-minute drives. Sometimes, Skip, you got to get big plays. I mean, that's nice to have a 7-minute drive, take time off the clock. That would be really good. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay these off, because Tom Brady's going to score. And I like the Saints' defense. I think they can get after the quarterback. The secondary is nice. DeMario Davis is playing as well as any linebacker in all of football. And so you're going to have to match Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's going to put some, even if you slow him down, even if you stop him early, they'll make the adjustments and they'll get points. So you're going to have to match that. I'm just not sure that Sean Payton is going to do enough that will allow Jameis to do enough, pushing the ball down the field to do any damage. So I'm going to say no, that the Jameis will not be able to get revenge, although I know he wants to. And sometimes you got to guard against that, Skip, the emotion of it. Like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show you. See what y'all could have had? But, nah, I don't believe so.
So you believe that the Buccaneers will win the game at New Orleans and will cover the 4.5-point spread?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So you think Brady rolls again?
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'll say 28-23.
28-20. Well, you're saying they cover it by a half a point. Oh, so you don't have that much courage of your convictions.
They winning. Yeah, you know, Skip, you know, we winning. They winning.
Okay. So I have seen a trend on this show that you are so sick and tired of losing due to Tom Brady or because of Tom Brady that you finally just give in, and every time we pick a Brady game, you just say, oh, they're going to win and they're going to cover. And then you're off the hook.
No, I mean, Skip, I didn't pick them when they played the Rams. I got due back. Yeah, I got it due back.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, go get another one, too, when you play Buffalo.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we have an early bet on that one? Okay, straight up.
No.
Oh,
no.
What are you talking about?
Give me the points then. Give me 4.5 and I'll take the Bucs. I mean, I'll take the Saints.
4.5?
Yeah. You so confident in Tom Brady?
No, well, I'm not. Okay. I was about to tell you, I do not think they can cover this spread.
But you expect them to win?
I expect them to barely win because the Saints, by the way, their defense is second in points allowed. I think it's really good. And Brady, in his Wednesday media session, he went on and on and on about the New Orleans defense. You could say he's just trying to set them up.
Sure is.
Yeah, and yet it came across to me, once again, as 1,000% genuine.
No.
That I think he has nothing but the highest regard for this defense because he said they're athletic, they're nasty, that they just keep on coming, that they're multiple, they can do a lot of different things, and they're second in points allowed. I mean, that's pretty, wouldn't you say that's pretty scary good?
Man, stop it, Skip. I'm right now. I see smoke coming out of Demarius Davis and Cam Jordan's ears right now because Tom Brady blowing smoke up their butt.
Really?
You know Tom Brady. He already done told you. He said he
you
only.
Think those guys are good players?
I think that. Yes, I do.
They're really good players.
Do I think
and
Brady?
They're really proud players.
Do I really think Brady believes that? No, I think Brady believes that I got my guys. We're gonna roll. That's what I believe Brady believes.
What happened in both the regular season games last year?
Yes.
They rolled.
Yeah, and they had a very good defense last year. And what happened?
Well, they rolled until the playoff game. And then Drew Brees got picked 3 times. It was the beginning of the end. It was the end. He was
already on fumes.
Okay, you got it. And the final score was Brady 30, Brees 20. So it was 30-20. You don't think DeMario and Jordan want to get even?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Right?
But the question is, Skip, is Sean Payton going to allow Jameis to push the ball down the field to threaten that secondary?
Because he would tell you, I've got him at 13 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions.
Right.
What did he do his last year, the 7-9 year? He threw 30 interceptions and lost 5 fumbles.
Skip, the performance that he gave you, what was that, Monday night, is good enough to beat Seattle
in
Geno.
In foul weather, but it was clean.
That's not going to be good enough to beat Tom Brady. Because you got to realize, Skip, you know, Tom Brady's indoors too. So it's not like it's going to just be great for you. It's going to be ideal and pristine for him also.
Okay. He will probably be without Antonio Brown.
Right.
He definitely will be without Scotty Miller, who's still trying to come back.
Man, but Scotty Miller, we're going to stop it.
Okay, but Scotty Miller, last year, at least once a game, you know and I know, he would get loose.
Yeah.
And he got loose just before the half at Green Bay in the championship game.
Got the Raiders, too.
He got the Raiders. He's worth one big play because he can fly now.
Yes.
He's a 4-3 guy.
Yes.
Okay? They have no speed at receiver. If there's no Antonio and there's no Scotty, they have no real deep speed.
No, but Tom is good with that.
Okay, but Mike Evans and Godwin, they're just medium fast. You know, and obviously Mike Evans is 6 feet 5 inches tall. And he's a long strider, and he can get behind you. He can catch jump balls behind you. But my point is, they don't have anybody who can gash you. Even Gronk, I think he's going to try to play, but I'm not even sure of that.
And you know, Lattimore and Evans, that's a matchup. There's no love lost between those two. There's no love lost between those two guys.
And it's going to be man-to-man, solo, mano a mano, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back to Jameis. Well, he would love more than anything in his whole career back to Florida State in a national championship. He would love nothing more than to beat Brady and show Tampa, this is what you could have had. I could still be there doing these kinds of things.
But the thing is, can he manage those emotions? Because remember, Skip, emotion is good. Controlled emotions are better because those will allow you to thrive and succeed. Is when the emotions get the best of you and you do things out of character. You try to take chances, or you know, on the defensive side, you taunt a guy. Come on. So that's the question. And I think early on, I think that's what Sean Payton's going to try to guard against with Jameis. My only thing is, if he allow him to play, at some point in time, Skip, you got to take chances. I just don't believe you can just nickel and dime your way down the field. Down in and down out, game in and game out, and be successful.
I got you, but who's almost certainly the best play caller in pro football? It's this guy. It's Sean Payton.
Well, what you call him said, Byron Leftwich said, I need to be getting me some job interviews. Skip,
I will buy that. But obviously Brady's going to check off. He's going to call some of his own. But now Sean Payton is running that show. You know it, and I know it. He's not letting Jameis have any. Like you can't check off. You can't audible. You got to do what I tell you to do. Right. Okay. So this whole team is spoiling for some revenge because that was an embarrassment. Brady went in there and shocked everybody, including you, by winning that game on the way to Lambeau.
Well, remember the game turned. They're about to go up by about 10, I think.
They were.
And then Jerry Cook fumbled the ball.
He did.
They get it. They go back down the field, and the Saints were never able to regain momentum. And so, look, I understand this is a division and division rivalry, Skip. And divisions, you know, division games are tricky because even that you're so much better than the team in your division, they just know you. They played against you so many times. You're very familiar with the personnel.
Remember, so, this is basically do or die for New Orleans because they got 2 losses and Tampa's got 1 loss. So if it goes to 3,
I don't believe you catching them. No. I don't believe you catching them after that. And Tampa wants to stay because they're like, hold on, there's only 1 bye.
Okay.
And so there are a bunch of teams that got one loss.
I do not think Brady can get to 30 against this unit. It's just too good. It's too fast. It's too athletic. It's too experienced. I'll give him 27, but I'm going to give Jameis 24. And I'm only going to hang my hat on the fact that Pro Football Focus, your favorite website, still grades Brady #1 in pro football, and Jameis they grade 23rd.
And they graded Trayvon Diggs 61. You like that? You believe Trayvon Diggs is the 61st best cornerback in football?
He's boom or bust. Okay. And they don't like all the bust because there's a whole lot of bust that goes with the boom.
Let me ask you a question. How did Jerry get back on his feet? He hit a boom. That's the way you roll.
Well, he lost his proverbial shirt several times.
That's okay.
He was dead broke.
Yeah. And then Lamb said, hey.
Okay.
Jay Clampett.
Yeah.
Shot it. Black gold.
1 shot.
Yes, that's it. So for me, look, I agree. But if someone told me, say, Shannon, Sean's going to turn Jameis loose, I was like, okay, I'll take him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
because I believe you got to push you got to test that secondary because I don't think the secondary is very good. The pass rush they got to Justin because Chicago's offensive line, Skip. That's a mess they got going on there. That's a different story. I think the Saints offensive line is a lot better. Now Pete did go out of the ball game. Will he be back? Because he's a Pro Bowl player.
He is.
So they're definitely going to need him to deal with Vita Vea and Sue. And now you got JPP and you still got Shaq Barrett starting to heat up on the edges again. So,
well, there's one man in sports I do not bet against.
I bet against him.
Tom Brady.
I bet against him. I'm going to bet against him again, especially if they play old Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I'm going to bet against him again.
Yeah.
And they play. Definitely going to bet against him. He play Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers going to get that revenge.
Brady sets you up for all of the above.
All right, guys, let's talk some Lakers again because was LeBron tweeting to divert attention away from the Lakers' embarrassing collapse?
No, you tried to divert my attention.
Big Papi is giving away $25,000 for Game 3 of the World Series on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Super 6 players have won over $5 million, and you could be the next jackpot winner. Scan the QR code, download the app, and answer 6 questions about Game 3 before first pitch tonight at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Don't miss out. It is free to play. Now, on Wednesday, while the Lakers were busy blowing a 26-point lead to the Thunder, LeBron turned his attention to his crosstown rivals. After Colin Sexton of the Cavs dunked on Clippers Nicholas Batum, LeBron tweeted, quote, "My goodness, young bull." With the left too, the tweet was met with some criticism from Lakers fans who were upset that LeBron was focused on the Clippers losing instead of the Lakers' collapse. So, Shannon, what was the purpose of this tweet?
Was to celebrate a young man's success. I mean, so LeBron is not supposed to give anybody any credit. And I know Michael Jordan would have never given anybody credit. Because Michael Jordan is the only way to do anything. You know, Michael Jordan, you know what? Kanye West built a sneaker brand and never shot a jump shot. So that Michael Jordan is not the only way to do anything. So let's get that out of the way. Let's just go ahead and clear that out.
I wasn't even going to go there.
But I did. Okay. Now, the man gives somebody success. Now, had Tom Brady give someone success, oh, look at Tom paying homage. He's so humble. LeBron gives somebody success. Why you giving somebody? Because LeBron is always going. It doesn't matter the sport. We've seen LeBron James tweet, a baseball player does something. Congrats, good job, young fella. Be it at the collegiate level. He's engaged. He loves sports. He loves seeing others do well. Just because I credit with someone with doing well, that doesn't mean I'm taking a shot at someone else. Because in order for you to do well, and this is a sport, you've had to do it at someone else's expense. So why would he take a shot at the Clippers? What if the Clippers have won? The Clippers the only team in the NBA this year that has failed to reach 80 points in a ball game. Why would I take? They ain't got no banners. They ain't got no MVPs. So why am I going to take a shot at them? For what? What have they done to deserve my time? When is it going to be Kawhi Town? It's not.
When he comes back?
It ain't going to be that. Skip, the thing is, look, it's just that whatever LeBron does is going to be met with criticism on somebody. All LeBron said about the Squid Games is that he didn't say the series sucked. All he says, man, I didn't like the ending. Maybe he wants to see a sequel. Maybe he wants to see. The guy took it as a shot that he criticized the entire movie. And that's how LeBron tweets anything. Someone's going to take it as a slight that he's slighting someone else. When he's crediting, that was a nice play by Sexton. And he flushed it with his laugh. Give the man credit. You can give credit. We got to stop this, Skip. We got to stop that because we uplift someone else. We're trying to suppress someone else. That's not how it is. LeBron, don't you stop. Keep giving kudos when it's deserved. And let the haters and the people that don't like it, don't follow him. Why you follow him? I've never understood people follow people just to jump on their timeline to say negativity. Why?
You done?
I'm talking about you.
Oh.
I was talking about you.
I follow nobody. So thank you very much for bringing that up. My turn. I want to credit your man LeBron James for being such a shrewd operator because he knows exactly what he is about when he tweets or posts on any social media.
Shouldn't everybody be like that? Should you know what you're tweeting? But why you're tweeting?
There's always premeditation. There is always modus operandi. And the first thrust of this tweet was, yes, he's distancing himself from what happened in Oklahoma City, something that he attended and had to watch firsthand courtside in civvies. But he's distancing himself from it because he does not want to associate with it at all. So the main thrust of this tweet is, yeah, I can go tweet about something else because I had nothing to do with what just happened on the basketball court.
That's what you got out of that tweet.
So, yes, I did. And it's not about trying to deflect blame because there's no blame on LeBron. What was the first thing you said? Well, you can't blame LeBron for this, right?
Yeah.
And I can only blame him because he did not play because I thought he was fully capable of playing. I thought he was capable of playing in San Antonio, but what do I know? It could have been at least one more dub toward that #1 seed if he had opted to play in Oklahoma City because both of us agree if he plays, they win that game. Yeah. He's going to get that game home with a 26-point lead. Even if he has to go just grab Russ by the jersey and shake him a little bit to wake him up and say, no, we're not going to give this game back to them.
Right.
Okay? So the #1 thing that he wanted to do is to show the world, I had nothing to do with that. So, you know what? I'm actually watching this other game over here because I don't even know about that one. Don't associate me with that stink out there on the floor because I had zero to do with that stink on the floor.
So he can't be excited for someone else's success without...
Now we get to the why of that. Help me out here. Tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers play the... Cavaliers. And... Young Bull plays for the Cavaliers. So what is his other modus operandi? What do I always tell you? That he keeps his friends close and his enemies
kind of like Jordan,
closer.
Well, kind of like Jordan.
Jordan just psychologically annihilated everybody.
He was going to dinner. He was taking Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing to dinner. He was playing golf with those guys. So like Jordan.
Like Jordan, there was no threat by either one of those guys.
So Kevin Sexton is a threat to LeBron James.
No, well, they're about to be because they're playing much better than anybody thought they could be. So what does he always do to the young Bulls as they're coming up? He tries to butter them up so that they will take it a little easier on the king. He does it every time. He tries to take them all under his wing so that it's like, I'm in awe of the king because he blessed me. He just blessed him. He just said... with the left, too. And it was spectacular. I got it.
You see?
But he's trying to butter him up so that he'll come onto the court with no edge against LeBron because he wants everybody to love LeBron. He wants no hate. Michael Jordan invited the hate. He loved the hate because he responded best to hate. And that's LeBron responds best to love. And that's the difference between the two of them.
That's one of the things that I dislike about because he had a sauce and he was unwilling to share it. Unlike LeBron James says, bruh, y'all reach out to me. Hey, you want to know how to start a production company? You want to start how to build a brand? You want to start how to do this? LeBron James is not, what's the word I want? Is not parsimonious. He's willing to share knowledge. He's willing to share information.
You just went parsimonious?
Don't worry about all this here.
That's the first time in the history of this show or any show I've ever been on that parsimonious got used on television. Professor Sharpe, I am impressed.
So LeBron is willing to help these guys because a lot of times guys are so prideful. I ain't asking LeBron anything. And for the longest time, guys were like, they would hoard it. Well, I'm not going to tell you how I became successful. No. LeBron said, bro, what you need? You want to, whether it's basketball or it's life or it's business, whatever it is, LeBron James is willing to help. I think more of us should be like that. More of us in our community that can help someone start something. We should.
I agree with that.
And LeBron is that, but he gets criticized. But if he didn't help, because here's the thing, Skip, he says something, LeBron shouldn't have said it. LeBron spoke about the vaccine and said, and when Kyrie says, hey, that's his opinion, everybody criticized. Well, LeBron should have been more forceful.
Okay, but that's what happens when you are the face of the league, not just a franchise. You are the face of the league.
That's what happens when you're the face of the league and you tweet. Everybody try to deduce there's an underlining theme for why you tweeted that.
Okay, well, I just gave you two of my underlying takes on this. I don't believe this to be true. And I do believe he has some fear of the up-and-coming Colin Sexton. And I believe...
Fear of what?
Fear of losing games to them. He does not want to detonate them. He doesn't want to give them any edge to come in and play with any chip on shoulder like I'm going to show you. He wants them to come in all peace and love. Let's hug before tip-off. Let's hug after tip-off.
Colin Sexton, Jimmy Sexton, it don't matter. Lakers by 15 tonight.
Well, I hope so. What's the spread on it? I don't even know.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't know what kind of Miracle Whip, a parquet. I don't matter the spread. Bed spread, it does not matter.
Okay, you said by 15. So if you'll give me Cleveland plus 14, I'll take it.
No, I give you, what's the line? What's Fox Bet got today?
I don't know. I looked last night. Now I can't remember.
No, we don't do
8 or 9.
Like you tell, I'm gonna do you like you do me. You don't give me no points. No points. Straight up.
Straight up.
Yep.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
They just beat. Hold on.
Wait, is LeBron playing for Cleveland now?
Hold on.
I don't know.
Did they just beat 7? I give you 7. Just call
7.
You. Yeah.
You just said it's by 15.
Yeah.
Have the courage of your convictions.
Did they just not beat the Clippers? And
yes,
Paul
they
George
did.
and playoff P. They just beat playoff P.
We don't have Kawhi.
No, playoff P. You didn't have Kawhi last year, and you advanced. Remember?
Okay, I will take. I'll knock it down one more point. I'll take 13. You said 15.
I tell you know what, Skip?
Well, you threw it out there.
You know what, Skip? It's you. I give you 10.
10?
I give you 10.
12.
10.
I said you said 15. They're going to win by 15.
I tell you what I do. I'll give you 13.
Are you admitting that you shot from the lip and you shot a little high?
How about this here? I do you this right here.
Okay.
Give me 2.5. Give me 3 points in the, the Vikings game. If that plays, give me 3.
No.
Why not have the courage of your conviction?
No, because you already picked it. We already did it.
Exactly.
Well, you just threw it out there. I didn't say anything. I didn't make a bold prediction.
You the one that talking about he's afraid of it.
Okay. You said Lakers by 15. Okay, I'll do 12. I'll take 12 right now.
Nope, no bet. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the game.
So are you admitting that you overstated what's going to happen in this game?
No, I'm not overstating. We're going to do something that the Clippers couldn't do. Win.
Well, the Clippers don't have their best player. Now your best player,
you mean to tell me
is back.
Playoff P. Playoff P should be able to get that one home, right?
It was a close game.
It wasn't no close game. Y'all didn't even score 80 points.
It was close.
How is that?
I watched it. It was a close game. It went back and forth.
No, it went, we went back and forth. Down by 10, down by 15, down by 12, down by 10.
The difference maker for the Cleveland Cavaliers was one Darius Garland, who went to Vanderbilt University. How could that be? He was the 4th overall pick, and guess what he is? He's a clutch client. LeBron and Rich Paul cannot wait to sign Vanderbilt Commodores.
They got one. You make it seem like
they'll have a couple before the next couple.
You make it seem like Rich Paul is down in Nashville just hanging out looking to sign Vanderbilt basketball players.
Now that we signed all the top picks in the country, he's going to be hanging out.
What top picks?
We got several lately. We did.
All right, guys. Well, speaking of best players, should John Morant be an early MVP favorite this season?
Yeah, Ja. My guy, Ja.
Tomorrow, the stage is set for a hostile top 10 clash as number 6 Michigan battle rival number 8 Michigan State in the big noon Saturday game of the week. The kickoff crew will be live at East Lansing starting at 10 Eastern ahead of this huge rivalry showdown, all part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Now, John Morant has had a hot start to the season. The third-year guard is tied in league scoring with Steph Curry at just over 30 points a game. Now, with Ja getting some early MVP buzz, more people are wondering if he should have been drafted ahead of Zion Williamson in the 2019 draft. So, Shannon, we know you've been high on Morant for a while. So would you still take Ja over Zion long term?
Yeah, I told Skip that at the time. And I told Skip my reasons why. Because I felt Zion was predisposed to have a short career, given his size, his explosiveness. Now, Skip, this is his second surgery inside of 3 years on a foot and a knee. And I've been reading that they're concerned about his weight, which I was always concerned about. And I said, this is going to be a problem. I said, if he's a big teenager, big teenagers turn into big adults. That's just the way it is, Skip. I'm sorry. And if you look at it, Ja has already played 50 more games than Zion. Now, he has that foot. There's no timetable. Now, how do we get him back under 300 pounds to get him to play? So, Skip, half the season's going to be gone. And that's going to be the problem with him. I'm afraid with his explosiveness and his size, he's not the Greg Oden, the Sam Bowies. Skip, the injuries is just, I just feel that the injuries, unless he can get his weight under control, is going to derail his career. And I would have taken Ja then because that's what I was afraid of. And I just read what this Western Conference GM said, hey, redraft? Oh, God, yeah. It wouldn't even be close, just like KD and Oden. So for me, yes, because I know I can trust him. This kid has gotten better and better every year. We know he's explosive, but now he's shooting the three better. He's shooting free throws better. He's finishing even better. Yeah, for me, Skip, it's a no-brainer for me. And 150-plus points in his first 5 games, he's the youngest. Only Shaq was younger. I'm taking it.
Okay. I hear everything you just said, and I want to be very clear on this. I love Ja Morant. The only reason I said I'll take Zion is on sheer girth ability. He is so big and so athletic and so powerful and so explosive. I've never seen anything like Zion. Just on pound for pound, inch for inch.
Right.
I'm going to take the bigger player if he can stay healthy.
Right.
If we're talking simply durability over ability, well, then obviously you got me. And if we're on this sort of teetering path toward injury hell where he's just never going to be right, well, you obviously got me. because there's nothing not to like about Ja, except that I told you, I watched him closely at Murray State. He was not a very good three-point shooter. And in this league, you need to be better than he was in college because that line is quite a bit closer. Right. And he stayed 2 years at Murray State, and he shot 31% the first year and 36% the second year. So to your point, he got a little better. But then once he ran into his second year in the NCAAs, ran into Florida State in the second round, and he shot 3 for 15, and they got blown off the floor by a much longer, stronger, talented team because it's kind of Ja or bust. Right. And what do we give Ja? He's listed at 6'3", maybe 6'2". Right. And yet, here's the great irony of Ja's game. Inch for inch, I think he's the greatest leaper in pro basketball.
Oh, he's explosive.
Right? I'm talking about inch for inch. Yeah. Whew, can he rise? Yeah. I've never seen anything quite like it. But guess what the irony is? He does not have a jump shot because most guys jump and shoot. Steph Curry jumps and shoots. He has worked hard on a Magic Johnson Memorial set shot. Well, Magic had it at 6'9", because Magic had no jump shot. Right. Well, neither does Ja. But here's the thing. You said he's improved every year, except last year. That's wrong. He did not improve his second year in the NBA because if I look at these numbers, last year from the field, he was 45%. That's horrible. That was his career low. Right. And then from three last year in the NBA, playing the whole year, he shot 30% from three. It won't work. His free throws fell to 73%. For a point guard, that will not work. But
sometimes, Skip, it's bigger than numbers. But I believe he improved as a player from year one to year two.
But guess what he did? Year three. Guess what he did? Right. And I want to congratulate this young man for what he did. He took the offseason and he said, I'm going to get better. Yes. I'm going to figure out a three-point stroke that will work. And he now shoots logo-type threes. Yeah,
he hit one on Draymond last night.
They're set shots. Yeah. But I don't care because he's so open from such distance, it works. Yep. And all of a sudden, he's off to the races, right? Look what he's doing now. He's 41% from three. I know it's early, but 13 to 32, that will work. That'll work. And from the free throw line, 84% so far, 27 of 32. That will work. I know he missed the last one against the Lakers. I don't care because he made the first two and he scared the living hell out of the Lakers because they just couldn't deal with him.
But Skip, you said the thing. You said durability. Durability and availability.
I know it's
How often?
I got it.
I don't believe he's going to spend very much longer than another year or two in New Orleans. But how much longer will a team have him available?
Let's talk about what he fell into in New Orleans.
Yeah. That was the wrong place to go.
Wrong place to go. Okay.
Gumbo,
but beyond that, we want to talk about dysfunction?
Yeah.
Okay, so he starts off with Alvin Gentry. I'm a big Alvin Gentry fan, but then it goes to Stan Van Gundy. I'm not a fan.
Whoa. Well, who made that decision?
David Griffin, who's on the hottest seat in basketball right now.
But remember, Skip, when he got the job, he was saying LeBron James trying to put a team together that's unsustainable.
Boom.
You doing all this talking. You realize you got a job because of LeBron James. Okay. Well, put the team together that's sustainable in New Orleans. Build around Zion. Okay. You the guru, David.
Okay. Well, the guru just went and got the third coach that Zion has had to suffer through, and it's Willie Green, the assistant from Phoenix. Right. We'll see if that works out. But it's been dysfunctional around him while Ja fell into the perfect situation with Taylor Jenkins, who loves him and he loves Taylor. And now he's the face of the franchise and the leader of the team. So everything is right for Ja and everything has been wrong for Zion.
No, Skip. Zion is the face of the Pelicans. He's just not around so you can see his face on the court. Yeah. He's in street clothes.
Okay, well, I'm going to hang in and give him one more year, but he could be on the wrong path. He could be on that path right out of the league.
Yeah. You've seen those pictures.
I have. He looks like he's 300 plus.
Yes.
Okay, you can't function that way.
No.
Okay, what do you want? Ja wanted to improve his three-point shot, and guess what? He did.
Right.
Good for him.
And I think the thing is, Skip, if you think about it now, he had a short because the season came right back up on him. So now you look at Ja and what he's been able to do, and Zion has surgery, so there's no working out. No. There's no, he's rehabbing. Rehabbing, Skip, you can't get no weight off rehabbing.
John Morant is a baller.
Yeah, he a baller.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to move on and talk some more Lake Show. Should Westbrook be coming off the bench for the Lakers? One of LeBron's allies is weighing in. We're going to go there next. Wednesday night, the Astros battled back to tie the World Series at 1 game apiece with the Braves. Now the scene shifts to Atlanta for pivotal Game 3. The Fall Classic continues tonight. Tune in at 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Now, Russell Westbrook has struggled early on for the Lakers, and one former NBA coach suggested that he should be coming off of the bench for the purple and gold. But Damon Jones, a former teammate in front of LeBron, was adamantly against the idea, tweeting, quote, "Hell no," before going on to say that the team needs to develop chemistry through reps together. So, Shannon, whose side are you on?
There's zero negative integer that Russell Westbrook is going to come off the bench.
We even got integer.
Skip.
That's the first time that word's been used on the show,
Skip
Professor.
Russell is the 4th highest paid player in the NBA. You know damn well Russ is not coming off the bench. I want to know who's going to broach the subject to Russ. If that's something Frank Vogel does, is David Fizdale going to do that? Who's going to be the person to say, hey, Russ, you know what? I think it'd be a good idea, bro, if you come off the bench and run the shock troops. Who's going to tell Russ that? Exactly. No.
Well, I don't know. Is it my turn?
No, Skip,
okay.
Look. Russ is not coming off the bench. I agree with Dame. They need to play together. So they need to stay healthy for a length of time. And this is why I disagree with LeBron. Because LeBron said the practice court is more important than the actual game court. And I disagree with him. Because there are situations that will arise that will come in the game that you can't simulate in practice. Skip, when we ran periods, There's the only time that we said, okay, we're down by this or we're up by that was in the 2-minute drill. But, Skip, in the game, you know, there are flows to a game that you can't simulate in practice.
Nope.
And so in the course of a game, you can say, okay, this is what I need to do. You can't simulate that in the game. So I agree. They need to play together. Hopefully, Bron can get this ankle. This thing is not something that lingers. AD can stay healthy, and they can get 15, 20, 30 games consecutively under their belt so we can see what this thing is going to actually look like and get some of the guys back that's on the injured list. But Russ is not coming off the bench. So that's not even something I even think about.
All right. I reiterate, before the season started, I was on the record again and again and again to you, this will not work. He will never, ever quite fit with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So if LeBron then takes back over the point guard after he handed the keys to the kingdom to Russell Westbrook.
Right.
What do you do with Russ if he's in the starting lineup? Do you play him at the shooting guard? Right now, he's 4 of 23 from 3. That's 17%.
Yeah.
He is the league worst from the free throw line, 9 of 19. So he's going to be your shooting guard?
Right.
There's no room for him in the starting lineup unless he is the point guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did Greg Popovich always say about Manu Ginobili? He always said from the start, if he played for anybody but me, he would lead this league in scoring because he was a gifted, prolific, explosive scorer in his younger days. You saw him mostly in his older days. But my point is, Manu Ginobili is the template for what Russell Westbrook could and should be for your Lakers. Because if Russ would ever swallow enough pride to come off the bench and do lead the shock troops, they would be invincible because AD and LeBron would get the lead and Russ would add to it because he would come in 1,000 miles an hour, hell-bent. That's when he could play out of control and be very effective out of control.
Think about this, Skip. You know how hard it was to get Carmelo to come off the bench?
Well, after a while, he had no choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to get Russ to come off the bench because he has $45 million. He do $90 million over the next 2 years.
Yeah, I don't care about the money. I care about winning the championship.
Man, ain't nobody going to let no man making $45 million come off no bench.
Why? What if it worked better that way? What if that's his most valuable role by far?
But Skip, a part of
I said this. I said it before Boylan, the ex-coach, said it. I said he's Manu Ginobili.
Ain't nobody listening to him.
Yep.
But anyway, Skip, here's the thing. You have to understand, it takes a special type of person to be here and all of a sudden says, okay, I'm a role player, I'm a bench player.
I got it.
You think Russ is wired like that?
Ultimately, LeBron needs to attempt to have that conversation.
I ain't tempting to have
Ultimately,
nothing.
Vogel, who does get paid to be the head coach, I think, although I think LeBron is the co-head coach, Vogel needs to ultimately tell him. Maybe Jeannie Buss needs to say, it's my decision. I want him coming off the bench because it's the only way to fly with this team. It makes 1,000% sense for Russ to come off the bench as the leader of the shot
He might do that.
That's who he is.
He might do that, but it's not going to happen this year or next year, not when he's making $45 million per year. It's not going to happen, Skip.
Okay, says who? Russ?
Yes.
Or you?
Russ.
Okay, you know and I know, deep down I'm correct about this. You know that would be the best way to utilize his strengths.
Skip, I told you from day one the best way was to leave Russ where he was. That was the best thing to do.
Not sign him at all.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best thing, and get Buddy Hield. All things being equal, that was the ideal move.
I would agree.
Because you got a spot up, knocked out. Can you imagine when they swing the ball and that's Buddy Hield wide open?
Perfect.
Yeah, that would be the ideal situation, but we are where we are, Skip. It's too late to realize we're in the middle of the stream and like, well, damn. Did anybody bring a paddle?
Okay,
Did anybody bring a life jacket?
I know Damon very well, Damon Jones, and I love Damon, and he's right. They need to continue to try this. Just reps, see if you can develop chemistry. Ultimately, it will fail. So keep trying it, but in the end, the only way out of this mess is for Russ to come off the bench.
Okay. Well, will you tell him that?
I'll tell him. I just did.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Is Caleb Williams the next big star college quarterback?
Yep. Hey,
we'll show you the proof next. Caleb Williamson has kept the Sooners undefeated, and last week literally took the game in his hands to keep it that way. On 4th and 1 late in the game, he had this wild play, grabbing the ball from his back to run for the first down himself. Skip, what was your reaction when you saw this play?
Shannon Sharpe, obviously, is an Oklahoma fan. I was watching this live. I yelled to my wife, Ernestine, you got to come look at this replay. I have never, ever seen anything like this play in my life. Kennedy Brooks is dead in the water for a -3, and this kid has the presence of mind. He's a true freshman to say, okay, I'm going to go grab it back from you, and I'll go make the first down if you can't make it. This kid is a special playmaker. My eye test already tells me he's the best player in college football, and I do give him a very good shot at ultimately winning this year's Heisman Trophy.
He'll win this year's Heisman Trophy, Skip. So what's Bryce Young going to do? He going to retire?
Nope, he won't, but this kid's got miles to go.
Yeah, Skip, it was a great play, and you're right. I haven't seen anything like this on the offensive side. I did see Ed Reed snatch the ball from a guy at Boston College, that defender, Skip. But to have the wherewithal to say, okay, you're dead to right, I need to take it. For the DB to say, oh, you my guy, I give it to you. And to get the first down, that's something you don't practice. You try to practice all situations, but I guarantee you that no one has ever practiced a situation like this. And for a freshman to have the wherewithal to do this in this moment, give him credit. Kudos. It was an unbelievable play. Unbelievable play.
He's been making plays against Texas.
Hold on. If he's that what you said he is, why do you need a play like that against Kansas?
Well, it's a good question because Kansas
give me a good answer.
had the ball because my defense is not very good.
No. But your offense had the ball,
We're down 10-0 at halftime because we didn't have the ball.
Oh, you had to have the ball at some point.
Barely. Yeah.
So if he that dude,
when we did have the ball, he scored 35 in the second half. You like that?
And you almost lost this game.
No, we did
Kansas?
Not. We didn't ultimately.
Don't do that, Skip. You know good well you almost lost this game. The Kansas?
Well, that's it for us, guys. Have a great Halloween weekend. We'll be back Monday at 9:30 Eastern. Don't go anywhere because the herd starts right now.